Welcome everyone. Let's take a look at today's daily current affairs news from the top sources. The Observer view on the fall of Afghanistan. The Observer editorial. The fall of Afghanistan to fundamentalist Taliban forces is a disaster foretold. Although the capital, Kabul, remains in government hands, the scale and speed of the insurgents' advance has left no doubt who now holds the upper hand. This swift implosion is likened to the final days of the Vietnam War, when the Viet Congress overran Saigon in April 1975. If what the world is witnessing is the moral as well as the physical collapse of a nation, the fall of France in June 1940 may be the better analogy. Next, Hong Kong group behind huge democracy rallies disbands. The Hong Kong protest coalition that organized record-breaking democracy rallies 2 years ago, again Sunday, it was disbanding in the face of China's sweeping clampdown on dissent in the city. The dissolution comes as China removes Hong Kong in its own authoritarian image and purges the city of any person or group deemed disloyal or unpatriotic to the Chinese Republic. Next, Made It in America. The story behind Kanye West and Jay-Z's unique relationship. My little brother is Kanye West, Jay-Z told David Letterman in 2018. 2 years ago, he and his one-time protege had gone through a very public falling out over his decision to skip West's marriage to Kim Kardashian. By this point, the duo had known each other for almost 2 decades. They first met in 2000 after West produced a track for Benny Siegel, a signee to Jay-Z's Rockefeller Records. Label boss Damon Dash was impressed with the young Chicagoan's flair for beat making. He penciled him in for Jay's next project. Next, energy independence is necessary, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Here's all you need to know about the National Hydrogen Mission. With an aim to make India a hub for the production and export of green hydrogen, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his Independence Day speech on Sunday announced a national hydrogen mission for the country. Delivering his Independence Day address from the ramparts of the Red Fort, he said India can achieve self-reliance in energy through a mix of gas-based economy, doping sugarcane extracted ethanol in petrol and electric mobility. India, he said, spends over Rs 12 lakh crore on energy imports every year. While India is 85% dependent on imports for meeting its oil needs, overseas supplies make up for roughly half of the local requirement for natural gas. For India to progress, the Atmanirbhar Bharat energy independence is necessary, he said. India has to take a pledge that it will be energy independent by the year we celebrate 100th year of independence. The roadmap for that is to increase usage of natural gas in the economy, setting up a network for supply of CNG and piped natural gas across the country, blending 20% ethanol in petrol and electric mobility, he said. The country has achieved the target of 100 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity ahead of the target. Modi added, I announced National Hydrogen Mission, he said. Next, India independence, the rise of a space power. As India completes 75 years of its independence, it is time to introspect the country's space program that has grown and evolved significantly in the last decades. The program originally focused on developing space assets that provided direct developmental benefits, for example, telecommunications and remote sensing satellites, that help both in improving communication facilities and giving direct assistance to India's farmers. But over time, India shifted a part of its focus towards space exploration and other high-profile missions. This includes, for example, India's Mars and Moon exploratory missions. Overall, India has been fairly successful in these efforts, and its space program has become a comprehensive one that includes not only a robust launch capacity and very large remote sensing satellite systems, but also a very well-rounded scientific and deep space exploratory program. Regarding PM Modi's speech, the call for everyone's effort for inclusive development and world-class infrastructure. Modi reminded the citizens that a resolve means nothing without the efforts to back it. A resolve will remain incomplete till it is not matched with valor and hard work. Therefore, we have to achieve all our results through ultimate valor and hard work, Modi said from the ramparts of the Red Fort. Addressing his 8th Independence Day address, Modi virtually prophesied next 25 years till the centenary year of independence as Amrut Kal, during which India will transform itself to newer heights. 25 years of Amrut Kal. We should not wait for that long to meet our goals. We must set out for this immediately. Yehi samay hai, sahi samay hai. This is the time, the right time. We should change ourselves according to the changing world. We will work with the motto of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas or Sabka Prayas. Prime Minister said, adding that country should aim to achieve new levels of prosperity and ensure that the quality of access to facilities are not different in urban and rural areas. And government should not be an impediment for public, and country should have modern infrastructure which is no less than world standard. Next, Tokyo Paralympics. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is to interact with the para-athletes on August 17th. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with Paralympics-bound Indian athletes on August 17th at 11 am via virtual conference. The Tokyo Paralympic Games is scheduled to be held between August 24th and September 5th. India will start its campaign on August 27th with men's and women's archery events. This time a record number of 54 para-athletes in 9 different divisions are participating in the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Earlier this week, Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Thakur said the medal winners in the upcoming Tokyo Paralympics will be rewarded at this year's National Sports Awards. Next, school lockdown to cost India $400 billion, yet national education budget cut in 2021. The civil rights group Right to Education RT Forum even is insisting on the need to implement a list of demands it has worked out for overcoming the huge gaps in education, has said that children suffer from psychological trauma, regretting there is loss of psychosocial support for those already vulnerable. Next, Narendra Modi picks August 14 to recall partition trauma. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday declared August 14th will be observed as Partition Horrors Remembrance Day to acknowledge the pain undergone by Indians due to the partition of India in 1947. Taking to microblogging site Twitter, he tweeted, "Partition's pains can never be forgotten. Millions of our sisters and brothers were displaced and many lost their lives due to mindless hate and violence. In memory of the struggle and sacrifices of our people, 14th August will be observed as Partition Horrors Remembrance Day." Thank you very much for listening.